Welcome to another episode of the Red Arrow Health and Wellness Podcast. I'm your host, Marco, with my lovely co-host,
Jessica.
How you doing, Jessica?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm awake.
I'm awake, too. I've had a lot of coffee this morning.
I have not had enough.
Oh, well, how are you awake then?
Well, I'm kind of awake.
Okay.
So this is one of our not as often, morning recordings of the Red Arrow Health and Wellness Podcast. Usually we do it in the evening after we've put the kids to bed for the millionth time. And finally go, we're recording our podcast. You have to be quiet. Otherwise, everyone will hear you guys up and out of bed again. And that usually is like code for just go to sleep. Go to sleep. But today they're up and around, and hopefully they'll stay quiet while we do this. The way the week went, doing a morning recording, making sense.
Yeah, and you were just on the radio, too.
I was on the weekly sports radio talk show they do with coaches. I got invited to get on and speak about cross country, which was a lot of fun. I actually haven't been on that program for a while, a few years. I did track. I've never been on for cross country. Now, usually they do a road show where they go to the very high school. So every season I get to get on the radio and plug my team and talk about all the great things. But the coaches only Saturday morning program usually don't get asked for because, first off, cross country teams are usually in action Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
So cross country teams don't get on much in general. And then, of course, we have to compete with football and everything. But all of a sudden, everything's paused. So it was a great time to talk. Plus, the boys won the conference championship. The girls won the conference championship. The boys made it to state. One of my girls made it to state. We had just a kind of a magical season, especially when we were shut down for half of it. So it was a great opportunity, a great story to tell, and fill some airtime for the local sports radio station. So I was happy to do that.
Awesome.
And they were I think they were kind of a little concerned, like, well, it's early here, the 3 time slots. I'm like, I'll take the earliest one.
It was 9 o'clock in the morning.
I know. I'm like, I'll be up. I got kids, and hey, there's no hockey this Saturday, so I got time to do stuff.
Yep.
Usually I'm just like swamped with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll get into all of that. First off, Jessica, as we do every week, what are you drinking?
Tomato juice.
Ooh, how exotic. What's in your tomato juice? Hot sauce and Worcestershire and celery and bacon and vodka?
No, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. So there's none of that.
It's not even 10 o'clock yet.
It's not?
No.
Oh, okay.
It just feels like it's almost like 3 in the afternoon because we've been up so long.
It's just tomato juice because it is too early in the morning for drinking, and also I have things to do after this.
I think it's more that you have things to do, because what did they say? You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. You went to Florida State. It's game day. It's a noon game today. I think it's a noon game. And what did we learn about tailgating for noon games? They start with an early morning breakfast.
For sure. But
and morning cocktails.
I'm not tailgating this morning, and I have galleries of photos to get to people, so there's no drinking for me this morning.
True that. I've got plenty going on too. They're like, we finished this and I got some work to do, and hoping to get on the treadmill right after this too, because it is freaking cold out there.
It is. What do you have in your mug?
Coffee.
Anything in your coffee? Little Baileys?
No, actually just coffee. Dirty bean water.
Irish whiskey? No. Dirty bean water.
Just dirty bean water this morning.
Nice.
Well, darling, with your watery pizza sauce and my dirty bean water, cheers. Before we get into our main topics for the night, how's your week?
My week was
bizarre.
It was
surreal.
It was a weird week. On Monday, we found out that somebody close to us was diagnosed with COVID, and I explained the exposure to work, and work said, "Get out, go get tested, go quarantine." And I said, "Oh, okay." So I got to work from home all week long because I was waiting for my results to come back. And actually, I'm still waiting for my results to come back.
It's been 6 days?
It's been 6 days. The labs are all backed up because everybody either has COVID or has been exposed to COVID, and they're all trying to get tested, and that's totally understandable, but the labs cannot keep up.
Well, and that lab in the past has taken a long time was 3 days, right?
Yeah.
2 to 3 days.
3 days is pretty fast.
Yeah, but they were doing 2 to 3 days not too long ago, but with this surge in cases, now here we are, day 6, and you still don't have results back yet.
Right, and I actually had to go and get tested again on Friday because My company does proactive COVID testing once a month, and Friday was the day, and they said, you need to come up and get this test because these results are guaranteed to be in by Sunday. And I said, okie dokie. So,
It's going to crack me up if your Friday test comes back faster than your Monday test.
yeah. And actually, I did ask about that, and they said as long as your Friday test comes back negative and you don't have COVID symptoms, you can go ahead and come back to work on Monday. So I am.
They
pretty
didn't go as far as
excited
to say
about
if whatever comes back first.
No,
They're just going with the most recent one.
Yeah.
So now even like the work is just going, well, forget that one on Monday. It's a wash.
Well,
basically.
also I did take our youngest to get tested for COVID because she was exhibiting some symptoms of the same kind of symptoms that person had exhibited as well. And so I took her to get tested, and that was kind of traumatic for her.
You think because they swab her brain?
Her test results actually came back within 2 days, which is amazing. And she does not have it either. And I let work know that, and they were like, that's excellent. We're so happy to hear that. As long as your Friday one comes back, you are good to go for Monday. So yay.
Poor kid 4, and they had to stick that thing so far up her nose to go
They
get
shoved
enough
it right all the way up there.
enough of a sample where her nose was so runny they could have like just swabbed it off her chin because it was all coming
but
out.
apparently it needs to come straight from like your brain or your eyeball or something. I don't know. But
I don't know.
They like shoved it up there, and then
She had so much snot all over her shirt. It was just a
it
waterfall coming out.
all the way up her nose, and then he let go of it, and he stood there and counted 1, 2,
He let go of the swab and just had it stuck
3.
up her nose?
Yeah, I had to restrain her head and her hand so that she didn't rip it out. Yeah, it was not a good time.
But she's negative. Or her
She is.
quote, I don't have any more Ronas.
I don't have any more Coronas.
What was that Will Ferrell thing with the landlord? I has 4 beers?
Yeah, I love that. That's a great
It's on
skit.
a par with that. I don't have any more Ronas.
No more Coronas.
Oh, poor kid 4.
Yep.
Just to be fair, if you haven't been listening to all those, she never did have corona in the first place. She has been tested negative for COVID. She never tested positive.
Yep.
But, it's 3-year-old logic. Almost 4.
Mm-hmm.
Getting close to that 4th birthday. Poor kid. It's been a weird year for her. A third of her life has been COVID.
That's sad.
Almost a quarter.
That's
She's so
unfortunate.
old. Little old lady.
She's an old lady. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gonna turn 4. And it's just finally almost filling out 2 T's.
No, actually, she's moving into 3 T's.
Sweet.
I know.
As she moves into birthday number 4.
Exactly.
She's so
She's
tiny.
itty bitty. And also the T pants, they make them like the butts bigger so that they can accommodate diapers because like if you are wearing T pants, you're supposed to still, it stands for toddler. And toddlers aren't usually potty trained. And she's been potty trained for a long time. So she's got all this saggy stuff in her pants to accommodate diapers that she doesn't wear. And they don't make regular pants small enough for her. So.
I was going back through things, and when we kicked off this podcast, way back when at the beginning of Rona, we were just on the tail end of potty training with her.
Mm-hmm.
And it just feels like forever ago because she's got to go. She's got her little potty rings so that she doesn't fall through.
Yeah, she's got a tiny
on a
butt.
little hook next to the toilets, and she's got stools, and then like her brothers will steal the little step stools because they need to like put away dishes or get something off a high shelf, and so they'll run off with it and not bring it back. But she just goes like, "Oh, it's not in here." Go, you hear the little fecal. Boop, 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 boop. She runs off. She grabs whatever step stool, brings it back so she can get up to the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
She puts her ring on. She goes. Usually remembers to flush and not leave us a little present.
Ew.
Yeah. Kid 4, did you forget to flush? No, I flushed. Really? Who else used a potty ring and left turds in the toilet? Oh, it was me.
It's a me.
It's a me. Kid 4.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell there's a little bit of Mario going on around this house?
It's like nonstop Mario.
Mario
All
was going
Mario all the time.
3 different electronic devices were playing Mario when I came up from the radio show.
And you should not be surprised by that at all.
No. And I'm surprised by it was 4 different electronic devices going. It's like, couldn't you guys just all play like Smash Brothers or Mario Kart together?
No.
No. We can't agree on what game we want to play. So one was on the Wii, one was on the Switch, one was on a tablet or iPod or something. It's like, okay, guys. Oi. Well, you've been working from home. Does that mean you got to sleep in at all?
A little bit.
Because you didn't have to drive the 40 to 80 minutes to work, depending on construction.
Yeah.
It's really not traffic that messes you up.
It's construction. I've had to relearn how to get to work using weird back roads that I'm not familiar with, which is terrible for me because I get lost super easy.
You were in Kalamazoo when you went to Western Michigan for how many years?
I don't like this story.
And you were a senior and you got lost going to the mall.
Yes.
You had no sense of direction.
I still don't have a sense of direction.
Your car has GPS.
Yes, my car has GPS. GPS takes me on a wild ride past all of these farms with these really weird looking animals and
cows.
No, not cows.
Exotic.
They're like oxen.
Sheep.
They're oxen and actually this really weird looking thing with these giant horns that are not cows.
A bull?
No, not a bull.
A goat?
Not a goat. They're enormous animals and they have very strange... Sounds psychotic right now.
Minotaurs? I don't know.
No.
Unicorns?
No. I wish they were unicorns.
They are magical.
No, it's a hold on while I Google it.
Siri, signs my wife is having a stroke. Oh, it's giving me all the clinics.
Jesus Christ.
Ooh, here's one with 2.5 stars. I don't know, is that out of 10?
Great. Sounds
well,
amazing.
it's down in Indiana.
Oh, even better.
All right, Siri, what'd you got?
Okay, I found it. It is this thing.
Texas Longhorn?
Why is it in Indiana?
I don't know. Maybe they want somebody, like some billionaire from Texas wants to put them on the front of their Cadillac.
No. This is a very... Anyways, when you are like lost and you're driving around the back streets of Indiana, having no idea where you're going, but trying to get to work, and then you stumble upon a farm full of these things, and you've never seen them before?
You start thinking, how long is this detour? Did I go through Texas?
Basically, yeah. Because you remember that one time I tried to go up to see you at Michigan Tech, and I wound up in Indiana, which is a complete wrong direction to go in.
Well, it depends. If you're going to Michigan Tech from here in Southwest Michigan, there's one route where you go up through Michigan and across the bridge. The other route is you go into Indiana through Illinois and Wisconsin and back up. And depending on Chicago traffic and Milwaukee traffic and Green Bay traffic and everything, it can actually be faster. But that's not the route you went, because you went up to like Kalamazoo and actually you started in Kalamazoo. And from there, the fastest route is through the state of Michigan. You actually went south and were en route to Indianapolis straight down. You were not veering towards Chicago. You also got lost lost in Alma, Michigan.
I got seriously lost.
The one stoplight like screwed you up.
Yeah, it did.
Didn't you and like one of your best friends like get stuck on going the wrong way on a one-way street in Alma?
Sideways.
Perpendicular to traffic?
There was no traffic because it was the middle of the night in Alma, Michigan. Thank goodness, but yes, we did do that.
You know, being from Michigan, if I were to put out my left hand and try to point to where Alma is on my hand, because that's what Michigan people do, I couldn't do it. It's so tiny. It's like somewhere in that middle.
It's right there.
Well, okay, somewhere between my knuckles and my wrist.
Yeah, it's there. It's terrible. Nobody should go to Alma. I'm sorry, Alma.
It's all right. Both people in Alma probably aren't listening to this.
There's probably more than two people. There's like a factory there because we drove by it.
There could be four. You're assuming that someone lives in the same town they work in.
The lights were on and it was making smoke.
It could have been automated.
Oh, no, I don't believe you.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So we've established the fact that you have no sense of direction, that we moved to the DC area. I bought you a GPS, a Garmin that go in the car. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, your current vehicle has it built right in.
It does.
It comes in handy. Especially when it's snowy here and like you can't see the road. It's like, let's turn on the GPS, or at least we can see where the road is supposed to be and where it's supposed to curve.
Make sure you don't drive into the river. Yeah. That'd be upsetting.
Well, especially when the road, the one road curves just before it goes over a massive bridge over the river.
Yes, I'm so looking forward to my commute in the winter with the snow.
And that's usually where there's also a lot of whiteout conditions.
Fantastic. Can't wait. Let's not talk about that anymore.
Okay.
Because that's scary. What do you want to talk about?
Well, we've got a major topic to talk about tonight, but we did have the week, and it was parent-teacher conferences at the elementary level, which was a little interesting since it's COVID times, and they were basically Google Meets. Mm-hmm. And back to back, but also because our kids are at a new school, and like we had never met the teachers one-on-one before anyway.
We don't know any of the teachers at the school. It's really
We had done one group meeting with Kid Two's teacher with, we've talked about with his intervention team meeting with the various specialists, and she was there briefly, but there was like a dozen people on that call. So it wasn't like we got to have a one-on-one exchange with her, or I guess a two-on-one.
Yeah.
And so this was nice. And I think this is the first time I've even spoken to Kid 3's teacher.
Same. Mm-hmm. I've emailed her a couple of times, but
we've had electronic exchanges, and she sent a very nice Google slideshow, Google version of PowerPoint at the beginning of the year to kind of get to know her. Very nice lady. Very much a Michigan State fan. Huge Michigan State fan.
Yeah.
Which, given the way the season's going, it's a good thing she's not a Michigan fan because they're having a rough go of it.
Nobody should be a Michigan fan.
But, the conferences went. That was not too bad. Not overly stressful.
No, I thought the conferences went very well, especially with kid number 3. She was talking about things about how great he's doing, and that's always very lovely to hear. And then I looked at the time, and we had kid number 2's conference immediately after kid number 3's. So I looked at the time, and I was like, I don't mean to be rude, but we actually have to go because we need to get to the next conference. And she goes, oh, well, that's fine anyways. I was just trying to fill the time. I don't really have anything to say about kid number 3 because he's fantastic and he does all of the things. So great. Have a great night. Have a good next conference. Talk to you later. And then she hung up, and it was so funny.
Well, most of his was, because he's a second grader, was like, okay, how do we get him on the tail end of third grade reading level so I'm ready for fourth grade? And it's like, you're the second grade teacher. He's a second grade kid. She's like, yeah, but is he bored? Look, we can live with that. We're about to go to the conference. It's going to take us a lot longer, which is why you scheduled them back to back. And you did kid 3 first, because we figured, well, they're not going to have much to say, because they never have much to say about him other than, like, he's a delight.
Yeah, I mean, he is a nice little guy, and the kid is super smart. He's always above grade level, which is also very lovely to hear. But there's never really any big issues with him, so I don't feel bad about only taking the allotted 15 minutes for his conference.
And it's kind of fun for the teachers too, because a lot of, at least at the other school, a lot would have, they'd have kid 1, they'd have kid 2, and then they'd get kid 3. And kid 2 takes a lot of extra instructional time and effort and work on their parts, and in the past, the teachers have been great with him, but then there's that like educational karma that comes with kid 3 because he's so easy and he's above grade level, and it's just like you just tell him and he does it.
Well, also he's one of the kids that I know that the teachers really like to use him for peer teaching reasons because he understands the material and he's very nice.
Sociable.
And he can take the work and he can break it down into tiny pieces that his peers can understand when he tells them how to do things. And I like that they have him doing that. I think it's a really good thing for him to experience.
Yeah, he would make a great teacher. I don't know. I really don't know what he's going to be, whether he's going to be an author and going into writing, or a teacher, or an engineer, or an architect, or an evil genius living in a hollowed out volcano trying to take over the world. Who knows with him?
That could totally happen.
That's so him.
He's a little power hungry.
He does very much. We've always joked about he has a bit of a Napoleon complex, but holy cow, it's like, yes, you do. We could totally see you in like a little...
Put him in a Dr. Evil suit. Sharks with freaking lasers on their heads.
Tights and a big old hat and shove his hand in a jacket.
No.
Yeah. I'm going for world conquest.
Good luck getting him to wear tights.
Who knows?
That's never going to happen.
He wears them for hockey. Stay warm.
You can't see them, though. They're under stuff.
I will say it was nice having you home because I didn't have to get all the kids up quite as early to make the runs to school.
Yeah.
I could let the boys sleep in a little bit. I could definitely let kid 4 sleep in because you were in the house. You were on your computer, set up, ready to go, but you were there in case anything happened. Mm-hmm. And then doing the runs to pick up the kids, I didn't have to take kid 4 with me most days. There was obviously when you had to go do your most recent COVID test, you had to run down to over where you work. So I had her with me, but just not having to do it every day made it easier, gave me more time to get work done because it takes a while every time I need to go. It's like, okay, let's go find your shoes. And then she wanders off or she comes back with one shoe or like, I got tired of looking. It's like, I think time to get her in the car.
I
And then
don't
it's
want
like
to go.
wandering off this way or that way. Or I need my winter jacket. It's 60 degrees out. You don't need your winter jacket. It's a 20 to 30 minute production to get her in the car. She's always, or I put the shoes on her, and then I go off and I come back and her shoes are off because she decided she wants to wear sandals. No, it's 30 degrees outside. You can't wear sandals today.
Michigan weather.
Just get in the car. Get in the car. In the car. Come on. Oh, so just being able to, close my laptop, go out to the car, get in, and go get the older kids, made it a more productive week for me. And all in all, it was kind of a quiet week. No cross country this week. Mm-hmm. And we finished the awards banquet. We had some hockey, but not as much as we usually do. And so it also made time for, fewer meals consumed in the car or at the tailgate. We did do one round of parking lot meals. Mm-hmm. We had tossed salads in a little everyone had a Tupperware container and just rotated out of the rink into the car, ate there.
It works.
It works. But, by the time we got to midweek, we were able to enjoy meals as a family, which is like a rarity the past few weeks. Well, I guess we've been enjoying them as a family, not at the dinner table. I think we've had the previous few weeks, we'd had more dinners in the parking lot of the ice rink than we had at our kitchen table.
Yeah. It's not my favorite thing.
It's not my favorite thing, but it's the way it is. So, made it through another week.
Hooray!
Should we just dive into the main topic then?
Yep.
All right. The other thing that happened this week, and it really came out Sunday night, was the governor hopped on television and the internet and social media and everything and announced a new round of lockdowns for the state of Michigan and restrictions coming out under the authority of the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. Mm-hmm. So not on governor executive order, because that got shut down earlier. But it's essentially the same thing for us. Big restrictions on how many people can gather and no indoor dining of any size group. And a lot of all organized sports are on hold. Movie theaters are closed. Bowling alleys are closed. Everything. And then, of course, urging people strongly, we're heading into Thanksgiving, not to have those big family gatherings, not to even have a family gathering outside of your immediate household.
Yep.
Of course, that news is just coming out. It was a Sunday night, and I play in a Sunday night league. So, as people were coming to the rink, it's we heard it was coming earlier in the afternoon, or people were like, well, she's starting to talk, and she's just reiterating that Corona's bad. Okay,
it was like a half an hour to 45 minutes of Corona's bad. Everybody needs to take this seriously.
And meanwhile, everyone's like, we got it. What are you putting in place?
Just tell us the details,
lady.
Get
to the point, lady.
Come on.
we don't need to go and thank everyone who's working hard. We know they're working hard. That's great. Get to the point.
Yeah,
it's Sunday night.
Press conference could have been way shorter than it was. And actually, I was
or at least give us bottom line up front.
I was watching it on one channel, and that channel turned it on right when she got started. And then 15 minutes in, that channel actually cut away from it. And they're like, yeah, we're waiting for her to just sort of
get to the point,
get to the details, and then we'll cut back. And I was like, wait a minute. What if I missed some of the details? So I switched the channel, and the next channel I tried was showing it in its entirety.
It's like that Dave Chappelle skit with the from Chappelle Show with Wrap It Up. You had the little lighted box, get to the wrap it up. This should have been get to the point. Come on.
It was a lot.
It's important. We're not
sure.
We're making light of this. It's serious. There's definitely a surge in numbers that are being reported, and it needs to be addressed. But lady, efficiency of word usage. Get to the point.
Unnecessary talking.
It's
honestly.
We get it. The numbers are up. It has to be addressed. What are you going to do about it? And that's what everyone was waiting for. And of course, she's notorious for the stay tuned for next time she had done in some of her other press conferences. So it's we can get a cliffhanger here or not? It's Sunday night.
We already have one politician that's really into theatrics. We don't need to encourage all of the politicians to behave the same way.
So the new restrictions did come out. She did eventually get to the point.
She did.
We don't want to be like her. We actually do want to get to the point, too. Mm-hmm. She got to the point. New restrictions were coming out. That was Sunday night that she announced them. They went into effect Wednesday. Mm-hmm. We got in our Sunday night hockey games. And, of course, as commissioner, had to go through because we had plenty of people oh, nothing matters. It's the end of the season. The winner tonight's the champion. No, we are pausing for 3 weeks. And if you guys act up tonight, if there are game misconducts or anything, those consequences will carry over to whenever this pause ends. Because, of course, we got the Debbie Downers going, oh, well, she said 3 weeks, but it's going to be until the new year. It's going to be until the spring. It's going to be until the summer. It's going to be until 2024. It's like, all right.
Really, 2024?
Somebody was being...
Boy, is that person pessimistic.
Yeah, that person was very much being Debbie Downer.
Wow.
So it's just like, look, they said 3 weeks. We are planning on 3 weeks. Maybe it'll be longer. Maybe it won't. But as of right now, we know it's not going to be less than 3 weeks. Whenever it's over, we're going, at least at this time, we're planning on resuming the current season because we're getting close to the playoffs. It'd be nice to finish something. But the main thing is I didn't want it's an excuse to have big collisions and hits and fights and everything. It's like, can we just keep this under control? And for the most part, they did. Mm-hmm. We had a few collisions, which I don't think were really more of or they really weren't a result of, I can get away with everything. It's more of, my skills aren't quite there, and I didn't stop in time, and I ran somebody over, or, well, I threw the random elbow, or overly dramatic trip. For the most part, everyone behaved.
That's good.
I was more worried about the Monday night crew because they're younger, but they also behaved. We did have issues with subbing. I had one team where the captain goes, "Yeah, I think I'm just going to forfeit instead of finding subs." I'm like, "The hell you are."
Everybody else wants to play, dude.
Yeah, everyone wants to play. So he's like, well, I'm missing 5 and a goalie.
Wow.
And that's your job as the captain to go find it. And I found out later why he was being so lazy, other than he's got a reputation for being a lazy captain. He was out also.
Oh.
And he didn't want to go. That's a lot of work to go find 5 subs plus a goalie sub.
And you can't even play.
Well, you can't even play. But I was able to find them subs, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the last place team, and that was the other thing. It's like, dude, you picked this squad. You picked all the top defensemen in the league, but forgot to get the forwards.
Nice.
So they played. There weren't any big issues. That game was a bit of a blowout. And then the kids had Monday night hockey, and they had Tuesday hockey, and then Wednesday, hockey stopped. At least in person. So we had some garage hockey. Kid 1's been doing her goalie exercises in her room or near a TV or near a computer or a tablet chatting with her friends while she's down in her butterfly position stretching. And we'll just keep getting ready. I got to finish prepping the garage for more. We're going to have hockey practice on days where we have hockey here at home.
Cool.
Or maybe we'll just plug in the Sega or the Wii and play hockey on video games on hockey night. Or we'll do something so they stay active. They might have to get on the treadmill just to wear them out so they sleep better.
They need to be worn out.
They
have a little bit too much excitement, energy in their little
One of the days
bodies.
we did do yard work getting ready for the leaves and whatnot.
And they slept really well that night.
The point is, though, we are headed into a new round of lockdowns and restrictions here in Michigan. And from what we're hearing, surrounding states and counties are doing too. Indiana's doing it county by county. Michigan just did the whole state. And COVID statistics are on the rise. And with all this going on, and especially with these days getting shorter, there's less sunlight, it's colder, there's fewer activity options because we're heading into winter, but we're not quite to the point where it's cold enough where you can do skiing and cross-country skiing and snowshoeing and sledding and stuff. It's just that cold end of fall, not quite winter yet. It's really easy to slip in and embrace the doom and gloom outlook, we're not going to be able to do anything till 2024 kind of, yeah, just ridiculously off the deep end. Basically, it's really easy to have a sour outlook on this. So that gets into our topic for tonight. As we head into this next round, this latest round of lockdown, quarantine, whatever you want to call it, restrictive procedures trying to kind of cap off this spike in cases, we want to look at thinking positive. Testing negative. So
yes.
we don't want to say be positive because when it comes to your test results, you want to be negative.
For sure.
But you want to think positive. So we want to focus on keeping that positive outlook, being bright and shiny in the dark days of winter and late fall. Because we are coming up also on the shortest day of the year. The kids have noticed that too. It's like, why is it getting dark out at 4:30 in the afternoon?
Because we live in Michigan and that's what it does here.
Jessica, this is our topic for the night. Thinking positive. Let's jump right into it. How are your top items, top cheats, life hacks, cheats, whatever, for keeping that positive attitude? Because there's a lot of things going against you. There's something about sunlight and sunshine and warmth that helps brighten the mood for people.
Yeah.
Just the pure psychology and biology of that. Well, we don't have that to our advantage. So how do you cheat that? Because we have this seasonal affect that goes on every year, and more people are, or some people are more susceptible to the changes in daylight than others.
Yeah, seasonal affect disorder is a real thing.
It is a real thing. How do you get around that?
So I go to work every day. When I get in the car, it is pitch black outside. And honestly, at this point, when I get in the car to come home, the sun has already set and it gets dark and dark and darker and darker during my commute home. So I have to get creative. I need to go get sunlight when I can. And for me at work, that means I take 2 minutes and I pop outside and I stand in the sunshine for just a little tiny bit, just so I can feel the sun on my face, feel a little warmth from it, and then I can go back inside and keep doing what I'm doing at work. But
it's
also,
almost like the smoke break of days long gone. Other than
it's a sunshine break.
Yeah, you've never been a smoker. You weren't a smoker, but it used to be more commonplace in the workplace that people would go, "I need a smoke break." Now it's, "I need a sunshine break."
I need a sunshine break. Yep. But also, if you're working from home, like I was this past week, sit near a window. I sat in our front. We have a library in our house because it's an extra room and we turned it into a library. But I sat in the library.
Mountain of books.
We do. In the library, right in the windows this week, so that I could see the sun while I was on my computer. And actually, the 2 days where it was like 60 degrees or warmer, I had all 3 of those windows open so I could feel the breeze while I was sitting on my computer writing. And it was absolutely delightful, and it definitely improved my mood and made working from home, being trapped in my house, not terrible. So that was good.
I can relate to that too, because I work from home. I've been working from home for 6.5 years, and my office is in the basement. Now, we have a walkout basement, and I do have a window in my office that overlooks a nice wooded ravine, and it's pretty, but it faces west. So for half the day, it's because of the height of the house and everything in the trees, it's still, even with the window, the blinds open, it's dark. There's just not as much sunlight down here. And depending on which of my computers I'm working on down here, my back might be to the window too. When I can, I hop on my laptop and I go upstairs where I have lots of windows and sunshine on me. Or in the summer, I like to go sit on the deck and work out there if I can.
Yeah.
Just to get that extra sunlight, especially if it's not too crazy hot. But in the morning, I'll work where I can get some sunshine and sip my coffee and work out there. And then I'll either move into the kitchen or the library or some other room with lots of windows and sunlight. And then when I have to, I'll go back down into my little hole down in the basement. It actually is nice down in my office. It looks like a normal business office. Just you're in the basement, you open up a door, and it's like, okay, it's a portal to another realm kind of thing.
But also that change in environment, that going outside and working out there for a little tiny bit, just taking a small break and exercising your legs in the sunshine can be enough to increase your productivity when it is time to go back to work.
It is a nice little mental reset button. It's like, okay, in case you're getting to writer's block or some sort of block or just fatigue, stop. It only takes a couple minutes, and it's like the Etch-a-Sketch. Just give it a shake and you get to start fresh.
Yeah. It definitely works.
That ties into you mentioned going outside and getting sunlight, but just go outside when you can, even if it's dark and gloomy. For me, it's go outside, go for a walk, go for a run, even if it's a blustery, cold, gray day, go get some fresh air.
Yeah.
I don't care what kind of HVAC system you have in your office, get some actual fresh air.
It's nice being outside. Even in the freezing cold, it is still nice to be outside.
Oh, it makes you feel alive when it's so cold. It's like...
And your snot freezes inside your nose.
That was, when I was at Michigan Tech, that was that feeling we had. Every time we walked out the door to go to class, it was like you walk out and all of a sudden, any moisture inside your nostrils just went and froze shut. So wicked cold up there. It was like, yep. And then you go back inside and your nostrils will eventually thaw out. And then you have a little bit of a drip or something going on. But as soon as you went back outside again, all of that moisture was like icicles coming out of your nose. It almost felt like the nostrils were just sealing shut.
Basically.
Yeah. Not that cold in this part of Michigan.
Thank goodness.
Yes. But still, even on those coldest of cold days, get outside, get some fresh air, poke your head outside. Go for a run, especially my runners. Any of my runners are listening, and we've talked about, I don't know if they are. Runner parents, go outside, go for a walk, go for a run. Watch out for the ice. wear appropriate footwear so you don't end up inadvertently doing the splits, going, wee, that was quite a step. I just pulled my groin.
Broke my wrist falling on it. Don't do that.
No, wear the correct footwear if you're going to run. Run in the snow, not on icy sidewalks. Mm-hmm. Oh, put on some snowshoes or something.
We're back in lockdown. And I've been working from home, so I've had a lot of time to look out the window and see what's happening in our neighborhood. And I've noticed people are starting to walk their dogs more often again.
Those poor dogs. So instead of the 2 walks a day, now suddenly they're getting a walk an hour.
Yep.
It's like, I know we have several different families with dogs. This is a dog-friendly neighborhood, but it's like, I've seen that dog about once an hour.
Yeah.
That dog's looking tired. He's jumping around because he looks like a full-grown dog, but he's still a puppy. Mm-hmm. Jumping around in the morning, by the afternoon, it's like...
He's like, we're walking again.
He's behind the human.
But the humans are really excited to be out there, so that's fun.
Well, I've also got some neighbors, too, where it's like we're on lockdown, and a lot of them been working from home. Actually, we got the retirees, but we also have the ones who aren't retired yet that have been working from home. But the neighbor across the street, it's like, dude, it's the 3rd time this week you've mowed your lawn. It's November. Put the lawnmower away, move the snowblower to the front of the garage. He's got his Christmas decorations up. The lights are on. His house, he's
ready.
He power washed the siding.
Did he?
Yes. He's been all the leaves. He went through every flower bed and picked out every single leaf that was in his flower beds. He's not retired. The retirees, I'm used to them mowing their lawn 2 to 3 times a week and just looking at my yard with disgust. Going, look, do you have 4 little kids? The guy across the street that has 2 little kids, his yard looks just as bad, or at least it did. At least this week with the half day, I put kid 2 and kid 3, all right, you're coming out and helping me. I'm taking a half day. We're all going to go work in the yard. We knocked out the leaf situation and, gave the grass. We had a few warm days, so the grass all of a sudden decided, I'm going to grow in November. It's like, I'm sick of mowing my lawn. This is supposed to be my season where I get to take a break, and occasionally I've got to go snow blow the driveway. No snow yet.
Whatever. This is 2020. You're totally going to be mowing your lawn on Christmas morning.
Yeah, and I'll be snow blowing on Christmas
85
Eve
degrees
or something. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, last year I went bike riding the day after Christmas in shorts.
We went to the beach last year, 2 days before Christmas.
And Christmas was cold.
I know, but it was warm that day.
Yeah.
It was 65 degrees that day.
Well, it's Michigan. It's nuts. It's hot. It's cold. Sweating. Freezing. It's malaria.
When it's 65 degrees in December in Michigan, you go to the beach. That's beach weather.
Jessica, what else can you do to kind of jumpstart or hack your own body, hack your own mind to keep those thoughts positive? Because again, it's easy to get negative, especially when you have no idea what the weather's going to do.
Yeah. So I really like the idea of making a positive thoughts jar or keeping a positive thoughts journal. When something really good happens, you just take a scrap of paper, write down the details, fold it up, and stick it in the jar. And you do this every time you're feeling good. And then on days when you're having a down day, you go over to your jar or you open up that journal and you pick out a note and you read through it. And you hopefully have written enough details on that piece of paper where it can transport you back to that moment when you felt so very good. And you can take a little bit of that positivity and bring it into your down day and hopefully help you lift up to a better place.
I like a variation on that. And instead of just doing it when you're having a positive day or a good day, I like it forcing yourself to write down one thing every day. First off, that starts off the day when you're there and you're gloomy and tired and possibly grumpy and fighting with your coffee, to force yourself to think of something positive and put that in your journal or your jar. And then when you're having a really rough day, go back and read it like you said. Mm-hmm. But then it becomes a daily habit, and it's not like something that's forgotten. And so the risk is that if you only do it when you're having a good day or a positive thought or a good feeling, you might forget that it's there, and you might have that good feeling but not write it down. Whereas if you do a daily piece of it, it's just part of the routine. You do it every day. It fills up faster. There's more good thoughts in there, and there's just added benefits for every day, even if it isn't a rough day.
Yeah, definitely.
It jump starts the whole process for the day.
Yep.
Just like I know for me, when I start the day and before I can finish, my coffee or my breakfast, the email, the text message, the phone call comes in, they kind of, it's not positive news, that just puts the whole day sets the stage for a rough day, a rotten mood, everything for the day. Whereas this is something you can do to get off on the right foot, to start well. And it doesn't take a lot of time, doesn't take a lot of effort, and it's a great way just to kick off that morning. Right.
Something else that we do that goes along with that, we have a designated book, and it's called Things My Kids Say.
Oh, Lord.
And I like to write down whenever our kids say something that is so funny or they do something that completely astounds us. I like to write it down.
I don't have any more Ronas.
I don't have.
Is that in the book yet?
No, it's not. I need to write that in there.
Last night.
But I like to take those little moments and I like to write them down in this book. And then when my kids are being absolute buttholes, because sometimes they are.
Never.
I will take out that book and I will read through every single funny thing they've ever said. And it makes me so incredibly happy. And it reminds me, yes, I really do love my little tiny butthole kids.
That we're trapped in the house with now because we're locked down.
They're hilarious.
There's no escaping them.
And not every moment. We do love our children. And not every moment is terrible. So, just put the terribleness aside, remember the happy, and try and jump back into that.
What's the little Nicky quote, the Adam Sandler movie? Release the good.
Release the good. Yeah, release the awesome.
Release the awesome. As opposed to release the Kraken, release the little buttholes that are coming down and driving us nuts.
Release the little buttholes. I think that's what happens when my parents come to visit. We send the kids outside. Go see Birdie and Pop Up. Go out there. We're releasing the buttholes into the world. Somebody else can deal with them. All right. So what else do you have?
I was just thinking, on a par with the releasing the buttholes. And there's the first thing that came to mind was the stink, because they're starting to get to the point where they are stinkier when they finish hockey. Oof. And their coaches have been really working them. So even kid 3, when he gets off the ice, is sweaty. You take off the helmet, it's like, ew. So they are they smell like a butt very much when they go home. And something you can do is take time, take a warm shower, take a warm bath, light the candle, put the bubbles in, and just have a time to take a breath and go, relax. You're trapped at home. Enjoy that home spa.
Yeah.
Find something. You have kids, find something, a movie, or once they go to bed. Take a moment, take a breath, and relax, because it is easy to get overwhelmed. We're heading into the holidays. Even going out and shopping is a little bit stressful because you have to have the mask on and doing your hand sanitizer. And we all thought we had this routine down, but now it's, oh my God, the numbers are going up and everyone's catching it. And, just relax. Stay at home, relax, have a home spa day. Actually, you were talking about doing this with the girls, having a home spa day and doing some nails, little manicures. Face masks. And I saw online one of our other friends tried doing face masks with her kids. Her kid number 2 was just not digging the face masks. One of our hockey buddies a while back, almost earlier in this year, was more cooperative with the face mask, even with his big white beard, than her youngest daughter was. But have fun with it. Now with kid 4, it doesn't take a whole lot of nail polish to do a manicure on her. One little dab each nail. Mm-hmm. And it's making memories. It's having fun. It's entertaining because it's easy to get bored at home. But it's hard to be in a bad mood while you're getting your nails done and being pampered, even if you're pampering yourself.
Yep, it's true.
For you, do you have a favorite nail polish color you want to put on for this upcoming holiday season? I know you've got spa day coming up, especially we're heading towards Thanksgiving. The kids have time off from school. You have time off from work.
I do. It's actually by Zoya Nail Polish, and it's called Tomoko.
Did they sponsor us?
No, they don't sponsor us. I would love it if they did, but they don't. But this one is called Tomoko, and it is part of their Pixie Dust polish line, and it is basically a super glittery, beautiful, shines in the sun nail polish, and it is very
further excuse to go out in the sun to see the shine.
Exactly. You really do. You have to put it on, and then once it dries, you have to go out into the sunshine, stand directly in the sun, and it will just absolutely sparkle. You can wiggle your toes and your fingers and watch it sparkle all over the place. But this one is a very pale shade of gold, and it just, I don't know, I love the way that it sparkles in the sun. So I love to paint it on my fingers and my toes for holidays.
What do you think kid 1's going to want?
She is probably going to want purple, some sort of dark purple.
What about very male from Descendants?
Yep.
What about kid 4?
Kid number 4 is a toss-up between pink and purple. She likes the brighter shades of pink and purple, so like bubblegum pink and a darker lavender. Those are her jam.
Yay.
Anyways, this was not a nail polish advertisement, but like it's nice to have your favorite shades and types of polish, and then you can pull them out, and if you're doing a spa day, you can be like, oh, let's test this one and see what it looks like and how it looks with your complexion and all that fun.
It takes up time. It takes up a few hours. So it's a few hours out of another day while you're locked down. And it's something different, something special to look forward to. Mm-hmm. Another piece of this too, it's easy to get overwhelmed with the unknown, the unknown and how long is this going to last? Well, in our case right now, the stated duration is 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. And instead of falling into the trap going, well, they say 3 weeks, but they could just, extend the goalposts.
Which they did last time.
Extend the end zone.
Unreasonable to think that.
It's not unreasonable to think that, but it's easy. It's a slippery slope in terms of your outlook and your emotions on the topic, and getting with all these other factors working against you, the lack of sunlight, the colder temperatures, everything to just kind of sink into that doom and gloom, and especially when you're not around all your other friends and extended family to kind of lift you up when you're having a rough day. The best strategy is to take it a chunk at a time. Mm-hmm. So even if it does get extended, even if it does get pushed until from Thanksgiving, 2 weeks after Thanksgiving to all the way to Christmas or beyond New Year's or Martin Luther King Jr. Day or Valentine's Day, or it just keeps getting, punted down the line, take it one chunk at a time. Right now it's 3 weeks. So focus on just those 3 weeks. And actually at this point, we're now at 2.5 weeks. Take it in digestible chunks. Mm-hmm. If we get down towards the end of this and they extend it another 2 weeks, great. Take it an extra 2-week chunk. That's easier than looking at 6 months out, a year out, forever. Small, digestible bites. That mentally is easier to tackle than just the unknowing openness of this is going to go on forever. Mm-hmm. And it helps with that positive outlook. Now, like we said, it might last much longer than 3 weeks. I recognize that. I'm not arguing that. But, and this came up, I was discussing with some hockey people, like, whoa, I think it's going to go this long or that long. Like, great. But right now, scheduling-wise, I'm planning on 3 weeks. We resume hockey. Jess, what else do you have?
The holidays are coming up, and now...
Yeah, they are. Thanksgiving's next week.
Since we are in lockdown, you can spend extra time decorating for the holidays.
Usually I'm a very much a one holiday at a time person. Mm-hmm. And I used to laugh growing up. Our neighbor across the street was like clockwork. Like he had his Halloween decorations up on November 1st. The Halloween ones were down and the Thanksgiving autumn ones went up. The day after, on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving stuff came down and the Christmas stuff went up like clockwork. Mm-hmm. Christmas stuff stayed up until New Year's Day on January 2nd. They all came down. And then there was actually, he had some random winter one snowflakes and stuff up. But when we get to February 1st, Valentine's Day stuff. I mean, he was very punctual when this stuff went up. Rain or shine or snow or sleet or whatever, it was like clockwork. He was not we're leaving up the Christmas lights until it's
March.
Warm enough. Yeah. I mean, even our more responsible neighbors are like, they'll just stop turning them on. Mm-hmm. And they'll take them down somewhere over spring break when the ice and snow is gone. Mm-hmm. But this guy, when I was growing up, was just, the whole neighborhood would laugh how punctual he was about it. And I part of me, especially getting older, is like, look, I don't want to see Christmas sales in the store in
before
September.
Halloween.
I don't want to see them before Halloween. I don't really want to see the Christmas stuff until the day after Thanksgiving. Even our kids are starting to like, oh, it's another Christmas car commercial. We haven't even had Thanksgiving yet. I'm like,
yep.
Yeah, one holiday at a time. But this year, it's an oddball year. So why not embrace the craziness and the strangeness? Start decorating now. It takes time and you're stuck at home.
You've got time. You can do it. Also, the kids love it.
It's hard not to smile when you're decorating for the holidays. So embrace it. Go for it. I already told the kids we're putting up the trees last because I still don't want to put up the trees until after Thanksgiving. But we can start putting the lights around the windows and the bushes and around the house and put the wreaths up and everything. And it takes a few days anyway, sometimes a few weeks, depending on the year. So why not start now and spread out that enjoyment?
Also, holiday decorations just make you smile.
Yeah.
Because you don't see them all the time, so they're a very novel thing. And you walk into a room and suddenly they're like colorful lights, or if you like all white lights, those are there and they're twinkling and they're just pretty. And it's like, oh, right. It's time for festivities. It's time for family time. This is very, very joyful. Hooray!
It's really hard to be all doom and gloom when you've got the ornaments going up, the lights coming out. It's put on some Christmas music, have some fun with it. Don't, put on the traditional stuff too, but put in the unorthodox Christmas songs too. Bring out the big band swing music or the hard rock, heavy metal Christmas stuff. Whatever. It puts a smile on your face. Have fun with it. We got plenty of time.
Exactly. So enjoy it. Also, to go along with decorating for the holidays.
Yes.
Holiday baking. If you're going to be locked down at home, especially with little kids, you can teach them how to cook. You can have them pick out cookie recipes that they want to try. You can try out healthier options.
Experiments.
You
got room for failure. Nobody needs to know. You get to eat your mistakes or throw them out if they're completely disgusting. Mm-hmm. But you're just baking, so you can do small batches because it's just you and your family. Mm-hmm. You're not supposed to be running around doing bake sales and sharing with everybody.
Probably shouldn't be doing cookie exchanges this year.
Probably shouldn't be going to holiday parties.
Right.
So do small batches, experiment, try new things. Mm-hmm. And there's fun and enjoyment in that.
Yeah. The kids love to cook. Ours too. They're like, yes, I'm going to put on my apron. I'm going to mix all this stuff together. We're going to throw it in the oven. And, oh, this time it turned out. Yay, we get to eat it. So, yeah.
And if not, it's like, what do we do better next time?
Mm-hmm.
That spices up the time. The spa day spices up the time. And something else you can do, if you're not doing it already, you should really have a meal plan for the week, especially if you've got busy, crazy weeks and lots of family members going in different directions like we do on a normal time. Like, suddenly we have a lot less going on in multiple directions, at least for the next 3 weeks. But we've spoken about this before. We have the weekly meal plan, at least for dinners, up on the whiteboard at the kind of the nexus to the house. In this 3 week period, though, we're going to make time to intermittently put items to look forward to, or it's not like, oh, that again, or yeah, it's Tuesday, we're having tacos, which actually tacos are something to look forward to.
Taco Tuesday.
Or it's pasta night, like, oh, banh mi sandwiches again. Dad, get some variety. Put some special items on there to look forward to. Like, yes, we're still looking forward to that. You could also do takeout to support those local restaurants, which here in Michigan, dine-in is completely canceled. Mm-hmm. Takeout's going. So these poor restaurants they've already had a rough year, and now we've got takeout only. Throw that on there. Put it on their planning so that the whole family can look forward to, hey, on this night, we're going to get takeout from restaurant X.
Yeah. So we did this during the first round of quarantine earlier this year, and we decided to get takeout, and we got it from the local New Orleans place. And honestly, it was my favorite day of quarantine because it was a seafood boil and it had all those wonderful Cajun flavors in there. And it was so good. And it was so outside of the norm. And it just made, like, even for a couple days after that, I was completely thrilled and happy because of that one special little meal.
We got pizza from the brewery down the street and a 6-pack. Mm-hmm. And a 6-pack for us. So we had the pizza. And while we had been making pizzas at home, it's easy to do and relatively low cost, it tastes different, tastes better. The advice I got at one point in time is, why would you go out to eat to have something that you can make as good or better at home other than convenience? But this is better than I can make at home. And so we put that on the calendar or up on the meal plan. The kids were looking forward to it. We got their favorite pizzas. We got it in quantities where there were definitely going to be leftovers. Mm-hmm. And it just made their day, especially the one that's just loaded with fresh mushrooms.
No, that's good.
That was good. We liked it. Kid one, especially our mushroom queen, loves it. We really should name her Princess Toadstool right there. Go with the Mario theme. It supported the local business, and of course, for our county, we've got a Facebook group too, promoting local businesses and who's doing what. And people, like, when they go and they support, they like to put up the picture and say, "Look, here's what we have, which is actually exposing us to other restaurants in the county too. And like, wow, that's delicious. I didn't know about that because it's a few towns over, but might need to check that out.
Yep.
And it's just something to brighten the day. So it's not like, and what are we doing tomorrow? Oh, the same old, same old. No, it's something bright. Like, hey, today's just going to be leftovers, but tomorrow is something special. We're making pasties or something.
Mm-hmm. Also, if you are getting...
I see your eyes like you're already starting to twinkle because you're thinking pasties. We're making pasties, not booby tassels.
Anyways, also, if you're doing... if you are doing takeout, you are supporting local businesses, and that will make your heart happy too. Because it's a warm, fuzzy thing to make you feel good that you're supporting your fellow people in your county.
Speaking of making your heart happy, exercise.
It helps.
Now, we already spoke about going outside when you can to get that sunlight. Go for a run, go for a walk. But even if you can't go outside or you don't want to go outside because it's cold and nasty, exercise. It helps the whole rhythm of your body. It will help you sleep, and sleeping better will help with those positive thoughts. It's hard to be positive when you're just exhausted. Get that exercise in, get that heart rate up. There are plenty of workout of the day programs you can do for free online. You can get them off of YouTube and whatnot. You just repeatedly have done like, okay, this month we're going to do the 30-day ab workout, or we're going to do the 30-day butt workout, or the 30-day bicep workout or shoulder workout with your friends. And you guys do the workout of the day and then text each other. Mm-hmm. But do something. Get on that treadmill. If you have a workout video or a DVD, plug it in. Do something. Canned food, milk jugs. They can replace weights. You can just say, hey, I can't go to the gym. I don't have a weight set. So what? Use something, anything with mass to it to lift, to get some resistance. Mm-hmm. You can do static exercises. Just something. Get that body moving. Don't just be sedentary and be a lump for 3 weeks. You can
get a trainer for your bike, so you can put it in the basement, put it right in front of the TV, and get on your bike and get those miles in that way.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And even if you don't want to spend a few $100s on a trainer, there are some at-home hacks you can do for your bike to lift it up and to get that back wheel off so you're not taking off.
Yeah, don't crash into the wall.
So they're not as good. And if you have a higher-end, more expensive bike, I would not recommend it. But if you just got just a standard bike, a few $100 bike, and you don't want to invest in a at-home indoor bike trainer that costs more than your actual bicycle, there are some things you can do to kind of engineer with cheaper materials, for your cheaper bike. And that way you're still getting the exercise. But at the very least, turn on some upbeat music and just walk around. Walk around your house. Put a can of soup in each hand and do some curls while you're walking for a half hour to an hour around the floor plan of your house just to get that exercise. Sure, you might break into a sweat. Okay, well then go have a spa time or soak in a bath afterwards. But it will also, a few hours later, you'll find yourself having an easier time going to sleep.
Yep, it's true.
And a positive outlook. It really will help brighten your mood. As we like to say in running, burn off the crazy.
Yes, it absolutely does help. Even if you are having the world's crappiest day and you do not want to exercise, make yourself do it. Do it for like at least a half an hour. You are going to feel so much better when you're done. You're going to feel accomplished. You're going to feel proud of yourself. And then a little while later, you're going to feel extremely relaxed because you got a lot of that pent up energy out.
We've talked about adding these other little things to spice up the week or weeks. But when you're not doing those, stick to a schedule. Get up at a certain time, or at least set an alarm like at the latest, I'm getting out of bed by this time. Try to set a time for you to go to bed. Try to eat meals at regular times. And then you're just adding a little spice to it. What you don't want to get into is just life turns into this rolling chaos. It's like, well, today I'm up at 5. Tomorrow I'm up at 8, 9, 10. Oh, it's noon. Do I really want to get out of bed? Force yourself to get up. Force yourself to stick to a schedule. It'll also help your sleep patterns too. And then just add those special things in to spice it up, those special meals, those special events. But build yourself a schedule, and that fits in well with that meal plan. That'll help have some regularity to the week and to the weeks as they go by, and will also help just the state of mind as you go through.
Yes, schedules definitely help.
And I think my last point I want to add in here, and keeping that positive outlook, that positive mindset, are affirmations. Now, we talked about your happy thoughts jar, your positive thoughts jar, your good experiences jar. This is just self-talk. Whether you do it out loud, whether you do it in your head, positive affirmations, it's, the I can do it, you can do it, we got this. But when you do it, say your actual name. There's a psychology behind this that it really motivates yourself. I have gone and told runners to do this too. It's like, say your name. Come on, Marco, you got this. Is for some reason more powerful than, come on, I got this. I can do it. It's, Marco, you can do this, where you become that coach in your head. Because when you're out running or doing triathlons or biking, you don't have the earpiece. It's not like basketball or hockey where you can only get so far away from the coach yelling at you and yelling your name. So you've got to be that voice. And there's an extra little drive and kick you get from hearing your name. So insert your name into those positive affirmations, especially when you feel like you're getting down. Give yourself that boost in the arm you need. And it may seem silly, but it will help.
This absolutely works. I do this when I'm doing my aqua bikes. And if I had gotten a chance to do triathlons, I would have done it during that too. But I will be on the bike. Obviously, if I'm swimming, I can't really do this out loud, but I can do it in my head. But I do it out loud when I'm on my bike. I'll get close to the finish line for the biking part, and I especially do this if I'm trying to improve my time. And if I'm really trying to pep myself up, I will start talking very, very loudly to myself and say, Jessica, you can do this. Jessica, you are a badass. You can do it. And it's actually really, it's really motivating because like I can hype myself up and then I can like rise to the challenge for it. But also it's really funny when I'm doing this, if other people happen to be riding by on their bikes and they hear me screaming at myself. Gotten a lot of funny looks over that. But also people will like join in and cheer for me too. So that's fun.
I do it like under my breath as I'm grunting and going along, and I've had runners and bikers nearby me going, yeah, you can do it, as they go whizzing on by faster than me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, it absolutely does help. And it's, I mean, if nothing else, it is really funny. So it'll make you laugh.
Yeah, well, I think that's our quick and dirty version of staying positive, thinking positive as we head into these darker months and what feels like they could possibly be darker times. I guess the last points really are wear a mask, wash your hands, socially distance, and embrace the virtual togetherness.
Virtual happy hours are still a thing. You can do it with your friends.
Get through this virtual holiday happy hours.
That's right.
Woo! Festive.
Yep. Festive drinks.
Enjoy the festiveness. Hey, crazy holiday attire. Come on. Do it up. It is hard to be grumpy when you're dressed up all festive with
you look like an elf
with an ugly holiday sweater that has LED lights in it.
Yes.
Just something. Just do it. Have fun. We will get through this, and it will be better. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So stay positive.
Before we go, though,
yes,
we need to talk about our winners for our Red Arrow Challenge.
Yes, the Red Arrow Challenge, our weekly multi-sport competition, virtual, free to join, free to participate. Go to our Instagram page. Our handle is Red Arrow HW. In the bio, you can find the link to create a username and submit your totals each week, and we celebrate the champions every week on our podcast. For the most recent week, the champions are...
Swimming.
Not a lot of swimming going on, but 20 to 29, we saw a few swimmers, and Gator Boy was on top.
Running.
9 and under, Easy E. 10 to 19, no one reported running.
What?
20 to 29, H. Kaner 305. 30 to 39, The Logan. 40 to 49, Sarah 906. 50 to 59, Johnny B. Good. No one older than that, not of our featured members. I was on top.
Shocking. Walking.
9 and under, Yellow Ninja. 10 to 19, Lucky Dude. 20 to 29, Smitha. 30 to 39, Wildcat. 40 to 49, Tim 906. 50 to 59, A.R. Miller. 60 to 69, Kilogram Ill. No one older than that. And out of our featured members, which is you and me, it was me.
Biking on-road.
Nobody in the younger two categories there, but 20 to 29, H. Caner 305, 30 to 39, Cyclopath, 40 to 49, Cyclone, 50 to 59, A.R. Miller, nobody older than that. And you and I are in the process of putting away all the bikes.
Yep. Biking off-road.
20 to 29 was a tie, Smytha and Super Mario. 40 to 49, Cyclone.
Sit down paddling.
You know, it's getting colder, but there's still people turning in sit-down paddling, which is our kayaking, canoeing, whatnot. Basically, if you're seated and you're paddling, there's still numbers coming in. So 20 to 29, H. Caner 305, and 50 to 59, A.R. Miller.
Stand up paddling.
20 to 29, Gator Boy. No 30 to 39-year-olds, but 40 to 49, Jesse's Girl.
Cross-country skiing.
Yeah, you guessed it. It's 40 to 49, El Tiburon 95, and 50 to 59, Big One 64.
Skating.
20 to 29, Lexi. 30 to 39, Wildcat. 40 to 49, Great One. And for our featured members, me.
Hockey.
Oh, I'm worried what the hockey numbers are going to look like when rinks are shutting down. Hopefully we have members outside of Michigan. But 9 and under, Yellow Ninja. 10 to 19, Lucky Dude. 20 to 29, Lexi. 30 to 39, Wildcat. 40 to 49, Coach T. Nobody older than that. And for our featured members, me.
Points.
9 and under, Easy E was on top. 10 to 19, Lucky Dude. 20 to 29, H. Caner 305 won this week. 30 to 39, Wildcat. 40 to 49, Sarah 906. 50 to 59, A.R. Miller. 60 to 69, Kilogram Ill. Nobody older than that participated. And out of our featured members of you and me, I won.
Hooray!
Yay! So that was the most recent set of Red Arrow Challenge champions. Again, free to join, free to sign up, free to participate, and it's fun. And of course, if you like hearing your username shouted out on the podcast, get on and get competing.
Play along, people. It's fun.
Yes, it is. But for now, and it helps that positive attitude to get
does.
out there, get exercising, even if you feel exhausted after you're done. Even if you're sore the next day, it'll help the outlook over the long term.
For sure.
But speaking of positive outlooks and everything, we got a lot to get done.
Mm-hmm.
We got some holiday decorating to do.
Yay.
You're just not excited about pulling out the boxes.
I don't want to pull out the boxes. They're heavy.
Well, we'll get those boxes up and we'll put stuff up and we'll turn on some fun music.
Yes.
But for now, this wraps up another episode of the Red Arrow Health and Wellness Podcast. New episodes drop every week. And actually next week, Kid number 1's hosting. This should be...
It's going to be fun.
You'll definitely want to listen to that.
Mm-hmm.
For now, though, it's been fun, Jess.
Loads of fun.
Bye.
Bye.